Vesak, also known as Buddha Purnima or Buddha Day, is one of the most important and sacred days in the Buddhist calendar. It commemorates three significant events in the life of Siddhartha Gautama: the historical Buddha, his birth, enlightenment, and parinirvana, passing away. This auspicious day is observed by Buddhists around the world with great devotion and reverence. The importance of Vesak. The significance of Vesak lies in the fact that it marks the three major milestones in the Buddha's life. Born as a prince, Siddhartha Gautama renounced his luxurious life to seek the ultimate truth, and attained enlightenment under the Bodhi tree in Bodh Gaya, India. Born as a prince, Siddhartha Gautama renounced his luxurious life to seek the ultimate truth, and attained enlightenment under the Bodhi tree in Bodh Gaya, India. He then spent the rest of his life teaching the Dharma, Buddhist teachings, helping countless beings find the path to liberation. Finally, at the age of 80, the Buddha passed away and entered parinirvana, the final cessation of suffering and rebirth, in Kushinagar, India. These three events, the birth, enlightenment, and parinirvana of the Buddha, serve as an inspiration and a reminder to Buddhists of the potential that lies within each person to attain enlightenment and end suffering. Vesak is a day dedicated to celebrating the Buddha's life and teachings, as well as honoring his profound impact on the spiritual development of countless beings. Vesak celebrations around the world. Vesak is observed by Buddhists in various countries, including India, Sri Lanka, Nepal, Tibet, Bhutan, Myanmar, Thailand, Cambodia, Laos, Vietnam, Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore, and many others. The celebrations may vary according to local customs and traditions, but the underlying theme remains the same: honoring the Buddha and his teachings. India. Bodh Gaya, the place where the Buddha attained enlightenment, attracts throngs of devotees from around the world during Vesak. The holy site is adorned with colorful flags and lights, and the Mahabodhi temple, which houses the sacred Bodhi tree, becomes the epicenter of religious activities. Devotees gather to meditate, offer prayers, and participate in rituals, such as the ceremonial bathing of the Buddha statue. At Sarnath, where the Buddha delivered his first sermon, special events and processions are also held to mark the day. Sri Lanka. In Sri Lanka, Vesak is a public holiday, and the entire country comes alive with colorful decorations, including intricate lanterns known as Vesak kudus. People visit temples to offer flowers, light oil lamps, and participate in religious activities. They also engage in acts of generosity, such as offering free food and drinks, called dansal, to passers-by. Nepal. Lumbini, the birthplace of the Buddha, is the focal point of Vesak celebrations in Nepal. Thousands of devotees, including monks and nuns, gather at the sacred site to offer prayers and engage in religious practices. The Mayadevi Temple, which marks the exact spot where the Buddha was born, is illuminated, and various cultural programs are organized to showcase the rich Buddhist heritage of Nepal. The Mayadevi Temple, which marks the exact spot where the Buddha was born, is illuminated, and various cultural programs are organized to showcase the rich Buddhist heritage of Nepal. Southeast Asia. In countries like Thailand, Cambodia, Laos, and Myanmar, Vesak is celebrated with great pomp and enthusiasm. Temples are adorned with colorful decorations, and devotees gather to offer prayers, make merit, and participate in religious activities, such as meditation, chanting, and listening to sermons. In some countries, like Thailand and Myanmar, the tradition of Poisang Long involves young boys dressing up as princes, reminiscent of the Buddha's early life, and being ordained as novice monks. Vesak, a day of spiritual renewal. Vesak offers Buddhists an opportunity to reflect on their spiritual progress and reaffirm their commitment to the path of enlightenment. The day encourages practitioners to cultivate wholesome qualities, such as generosity, loving-kindness, compassion, and wisdom, and to engage in acts of merit-making. One common practice during Vesak is dana, or the act of giving, which is seen as an essential part of the Buddhist path. Devotees make offerings to monks and nuns, such as food, robes, and other necessities, and also extend their generosity to the less fortunate by providing food, clothing, and other forms of assistance. Another important aspect of Vesak is the practice of sila, or observing moral precepts. Buddhists undertake to observe the 5 precepts: not to kill, not to steal, not to engage in sexual misconduct, not to lie, and not to consume intoxicants, more diligently, and some even observe the 8 precepts, which include additional guidelines for cultivating a more disciplined and mindful lifestyle. Finally, bhavana, or meditation, is also emphasized during Vesak. Buddhists engage in various forms of meditation, such as mindfulness, loving-kindness, and insight, to develop concentration, mental clarity, and wisdom. This practice helps them understand the true nature of reality and progress toward enlightenment. The universal message of Vesak. While Vesak is primarily a Buddhist festival, its message transcends religious boundaries and holds relevance for people of all faiths and backgrounds. The Buddhist teachings emphasize the importance of inner peace, compassion, and wisdom, which are essential qualities for fostering harmony and well-being in our increasingly interconnected world. Vesak invites everyone to reflect on their actions, thoughts, and speech and to cultivate kindness, understanding, and tolerance. By embracing these values, we can work together to create a more compassionate and peaceful global community, where all beings can coexist in harmony and mutual respect. By embracing these values, we can work together to create a more compassionate and peaceful global community, where all beings can coexist in harmony and mutual respect. Conclusion. Vesak is a day of great spiritual significance for millions of Buddhists worldwide. It serves as a reminder of the Buddha's life, his teachings, and the potential within each of us to attain enlightenment and end suffering. As we celebrate Vesak, let us be inspired by the Buddha's message of compassion, wisdom, and inner peace, and strive to embody these qualities in our lives, for the benefit of ourselves and all sentient beings. In the words of the Buddha, thousands of candles can be lighted from a single candle, and the life of the candle will not be shortened. Happiness never decreases by being shared. May the light of Vesak illuminate our hearts and minds, guiding us on the path to enlightenment and the ultimate liberation from suffering. May the light of Vesak illuminate our hearts and minds, guiding us on the path to enlightenment and the ultimate liberation from suffering. Introduction. Vesak, also known as Buddha Day, is an annual celebration of the birth, enlightenment, and passing of the Buddha. It is celebrated by Buddhists around the world, and is one of the most important holidays in the Buddhist calendar. In this article, we will explore the significance of Vesak and how it is celebrated by Buddhists around the world. The birth, enlightenment, and passing of the Buddha. Vesak commemorates 3 significant events in the life of the Buddha: his birth, his enlightenment, and his passing into nirvana. Feng Shui is an ancient Chinese practice that is used to create harmony between people and their environment. Lighting is an important part of Feng Shui and is used to welcome light and enhance energy in a space. In this essay, we will explore how to use lighting to welcome light and enhance energy in a space. First, we will look at the basics of Feng Shui and how lighting is used to welcome light and enhance energy in a space. Lighting is an important part of Feng Shui and is used to welcome light and enhance energy in a space. Lighting is used to create balance and harmony in the environment by using colors, objects, and arrangements to create a space that is conducive to relaxation and productivity. Second, we will consider how to choose lighting to create the best Feng Shui space. To create the best Feng Shui space, it is important to choose lighting that promotes balance and harmony in the environment. It is also important to choose lighting that is aesthetically pleasing and creates a sense of calm and relaxation. Third, we will examine how to use lighting to create a sense of flow in the space. To create a sense of flow in the space, it is important to choose lighting that creates a sense of movement and connection between the different elements in the space. It is also important to choose lighting that creates a sense of openness and connection to the outdoors. Finally, we will discuss how to use lighting to create a sense of balance in the space. To create a sense of balance in the space, it is important to choose lighting that creates a sense of balance and harmony in the environment. It is also important to choose lighting that creates a sense of peace and well-being in the environment. In conclusion, lighting is an important part of Feng Shui and is used to welcome light and enhance energy in a space. To create the best Feng Shui space, it is important to choose lighting that promotes balance and harmony in the environment. It is also important to use lighting to create a sense of flow, balance, and peace in the environment. Feng Shui is an ancient Chinese design system based on harmonizing qi, life energy, flow for well-being and prosperity. In interior spaces, Feng Shui chooses materials, layouts, lighting and decor that enhance the dynamic balance of yin and yang energies. Lighting provides one key way to boost flow, increase vitality, and open the heart in Feng Shui spaces. Natural light is most nourishing. Large windows that allow ample natural light to filter in are ideal. Open blinds and curtains during the day to welcome sunlight and lunar glow. At night, consider task lights or ambient outdoor lighting to maintain a connection to daylight. But avoid harsh overhead fluorescent lights which can dampen energy. Track lighting provides targeted task lighting. Track lighting helps highlight specific focal points or activities while still maintaining soft ambient glow. Place tracks subtly to avoid an overly harsh or dilapidated feel. Tracks can also be used to quickly adapt lighting schemes for different needs or moods. Floor and table lamps boost coziness and intimacy. Lamps with warm halogen, incandescent or LED, soft white, lights help create a cozy microclimate within a space. Group multiple lamps together for clusters of cozy intimacy, perhaps on a living room sofa, at a desk, or in a sitting area. But be sure not to create pools of uneven light which dampen energy. Recessed lighting enhances seamless flow. For an ambient overhead glow without harsh spots, recessed lighting is ideal. It provides a seamless wash of soft indirect light, highlighting a space rather than fragmenting it. Recessed lights also help create an open ceiling effect, making a space feel more expansive and airy. Candles nurture warmth and presence. The flickering light of candles helps bring a space to life with warmth, empathy, and presence. Group candles together on tables, mantels, shelves, and sills, but avoid clustering too many in one area, which can create a fire hazard. The golden light of candles is perfect for creating an intimate ambience, especially in bedrooms, spas, or homes. In summary, several types of lighting, natural, track, lamp, recessed, and candlelight, can be used in feng shui design to boost vital energy flow. Natural light and soft ambient overhead glow are most ideal. They provide a seamless wash of light to make a space feel more expansive and present without harsh focal points. The golden glow of candles adds warmth and intimacy. Carefully chosen lighting helps promote feelings of well-being, peace, and prosperity in feng shui spaces. By selecting materials and layouts in harmony with the qualities of different types of light, one is able to create environments that resonate with vitality, joy, and purpose. By selecting materials and layouts in harmony with the qualities of different types of light, one is able to create environments that resonate with vitality, joy, and purpose. Light is a key way to energize space in feng shui and cultivate optimal surroundings. An ambient wash of soft light helps a space feel vibrant and uplifted without restrictions or visual framing. Warm flickering candles invite intimacy and stillness. With an understanding of the qualities of different lights, one is able to brighten any space and bring forth its most balanced and nourishing qualities. Light and space together create the atmospherics to fulfill both yin and yang, from intimate peace to energetic dynamism. Feng shui lighting aims to flow with qi energy for fortune, joy, and well-being. Introduction. Feng shui is an ancient Chinese practice that seeks to harmonize individuals with their environment. In interior design, feng shui principles can be applied to create a space that is not only aesthetically pleasing but also promotes well-being and positive energy flow. In interior design, feng shui principles can be applied to create a space that is not only aesthetically pleasing but also promotes well-being and positive energy flow. Feng shui is an ancient Chinese system of harmonizing the flow of qi, life energy, in spaces. It believes that the layout and materials within an environment influence the health, happiness, and prosperity of its inhabitants. When applied well, feng shui can help create balance between the demands of life and work. Define clear boundaries between work and home. This includes both physical and energetic boundaries. Physically, establish a separate workspace away from living quarters if possible. Energetically, perform a feng shui cleansing ritual when leaving your workplace to shift your mind and qi energy to your domestic space. Do the reverse when leaving home for work. Set an intent for different spaces. Define the primary functions and energies you desire for your home, workspace, and any shared or transitional spaces. For home, this may be relaxation, intimacy, and recharging. For work, focus and productivity. Setting a clear intent will guide layout, decor, and material choices to better support your needs. Customize spaces to suit your needs. In home spaces, choose comfortable, warm, and relaxed furnishings and decor. In workspaces, opt for minimal clutter, bright lighting, and layouts promoting focus and collaboration. Make sure pathways are clear, table heights suitable, and storage optimized for needed supplies. Each space should nourish you in the way you intend. Bring in nature and elemental energy. Natural elements including plants, natural lighting, wood accents, and earthy textures enhance vitality and balance. Water features promote calm and clarity. Fireplaces provide warmth and hearth. Metal accents add activating energy. Choose complementary elements for spaces to enhance their harmony. Practice self-care. Exercising, meditating, spending time in nature, engaging hobbies, and nurturing relationships all help recharge inspiration and inner strength. Make time for rest, relaxation, and play daily. Establish clear work-life boundaries and learn to say no so you do not become depleted by overcommitment. Your well-being depends on it. In summary, Feng Shui helps create balance between work and home by defining separate and customized spaces. Setting clear intent for each, enhancing spaces with complementary natural elements, and practicing diligent self-care. When home supports relaxation and recharging while work nourishes focus and purpose, inspiration and inner peace blossom. Life's responsibilities can then be met with vitality, clarity, and cheer. By harmonizing energy flow in the spaces where you spend your days and nurturing a practice of mindfulness, rebalance, and renewal, work and life together become a vibrant journey. Your health, relationships, and prosperity stand to benefit. Make Feng Shui and balance a priority each day, filling both work and home with balanced qi energy and joyful purpose. Nourish others as you nourish yourself so that together, work and life may flourish. With open and balanced flow between spaces comes an open and balanced heart and happy, supported well-being. Daily Feng Shui practice builds this foundation step by step. Feng Shui is an ancient Chinese practice that is used to create harmony between people and their environment. Feng Shui is also used to create balance between life and work. In this essay, we will explore how to use Feng Shui to create balance between life and work. First, we will look at the basics of Feng Shui, how it is used to create balance between life and work. Feng Shui is used to create balance between life and work by using colors, objects, and arrangements to create a space that is conducive to relaxation and productivity. Feng Shui is also used to create balance between life and work by creating a sense of harmony and balance in the environment. Second, we will consider how to use colors, objects, and arrangements to create the best Feng Shui space. To create the best Feng Shui space, it is important to choose colors, objects, and arrangements that promote balance and harmony in the environment. It is also important to choose colors, objects, and arrangements that are aesthetically pleasing and create a sense of calm and relaxation. Third, we will examine how to use colors, objects, and arrangements to create a sense of flow in the space. To create a sense of flow in the space, it is important to choose colors, objects, and arrangements that create a sense of movement and connection between the different elements in the space. It is also important to choose colors, objects, and arrangements that create a sense of openness and connection to the outdoors. Finally, we will discuss how to use colors, objects, and arrangements to create a sense of balance between life and work in the space. To create a sense of balance between life and work in the space, it is important to choose colors, objects, and arrangements that create a sense of balance and harmony in the environment. It is also important to choose colors, objects, and arrangements that create a sense of peace and well-being in the environment. In conclusion, Feng Shui is an ancient Chinese practice that is used to create harmony between people and their environment. Feng Shui is also used to create balance between life and work. To create the best Feng Shui space, it is important to choose colors, objects, and arrangements that promote balance and harmony in the environment. It is also important to use colors, objects, and arrangements to create a sense of flow, balance, and peace between life and work in the environment. Introduction. In today's fast-paced world, achieving balance between work and personal life can be a challenge. However, Feng Shui, an ancient Chinese practice, can help to create a harmonious environment that promotes balance and well-being. Feng Shui is an ancient Chinese system for harmonizing the flow of qi, life energy, in spaces. When qi energy flows freely, it supports health, happiness, and prosperity. The Feng Shui of a space considers all elements within it, including layout, lighting, decor, furnishings, and openness. Each aspect helps determine whether qi energy will stagnate or circulate for the greater benefit of inhabitants. Layout. Arrange furniture to enable easy flow and movement through a space. Leave ample walkways between furniture groupings. Avoid obstructing important passages or doorways. The layout should lead the eye and body through a space in a smooth and uninterrupted flow. Spaces meant for exercise, intimacy, work, etc. should also have layouts suiting those functions. Lighting. Bring in plenty of natural light through large, uncovered windows when possible. Use full-spectrum light bulbs to support well-being. Dim or flickering lights can attract stale qi energy. Track lighting helps direct light where needed without harsh overhead fixtures. Candles also possess a warm and uplifting glow. Ensure there are no pools of darkness where qi can stagnate. Decor and furnishings. Choose furnishings, decor, and accent pieces that enhance vitality, peace, and purpose. Natural materials like wood, stone, and bamboo help enrich qi flow. Raise beds off the floor using bed risers or bed frames for improved airflow and health benefits. Ensure table height suit activity uses. Minimal clutter is best. Only retain items that spark joy or fuel purpose. Openness. An open layout allows qi to circulate freely. Avoid heavy, solid partitions that can block flow. Opt for lighter materials like bamboo, rice paper, or translucent screens when separation is needed. Open the center of spaces rather than blocking them off. High ceilings also promote upward flow and expansiveness. Overall, the combined elements of layout, lighting, decor, and openness work together to determine whether the qi energy of a space will flow freely or stagnate. When all elements are balanced and chosen to suit the primary functions of a space, harmony fills the surrounding environment. Wealth, good health, luck, and prosperity, along with peace and purpose, then naturally arise for those dwelling within it. In summary, Feng Shui of space considers all aspects together: layout, lighting, decor, furnishings, and openness. Proper flow and movement through layout. Nourishing light that brightens without glare. Natural and purposeful decor and furnishings that spark joy. Openness allowing qi to move freely through partitions and ceilings. When combined, these elements create an environment where qi energy can flow openly, bringing vitality, wellness, and opportunity to those within it. Stagnant qi is linked to health issues, lack, and discontent. A balanced Feng Shui helps qi flow freely for prosperity and prosperity of inhabitants. Space then radiates with cheer and transcends basic necessity, becoming a foundation of vibrant life. By understanding how each element influences qi flow, one is able to craft surroundings radiating fortune and well-being. The Feng Shui of space helps make any dwelling a place of thriving possibility, partnership, and boundless joy. Harmony between people and the spaces they inhabit is the result. Feng Shui is an ancient Chinese practice that is used to create harmony between people and their environment. Feng Shui is also used in space to help the flow of qi and bring wealth, health, and happiness to the home. In this essay, we will explore how to use Feng Shui in space to help the flow of qi and bring wealth, health, and happiness to the home. First, we will look at the basics of Feng Shui and how it is used in space to help the flow of qi and bring wealth, health, and happiness to the home. Feng Shui is used in space to help the flow of qi and bring wealth, health, and happiness to the home by using decorations, furnishings, objects, lighting, and open spaces. Feng Shui is also used to create balance and harmony in the environment by using colors, objects, and arrangements to create a space that is conducive to relaxation and productivity. Second, we will consider how to use decorations, furnishings, objects, lighting, and open spaces to create the best Feng Shui space. To create the best Feng Shui space, It is important to choose decorations, furnishings, objects, lighting, and open spaces that promote balance and harmony in the environment. It is also important to choose decorations, furnishings, objects, lighting, and open spaces that are aesthetically pleasing and create a sense of calm and relaxation. Third, we will examine how to use decorations, furnishings, objects, lighting, and open spaces to create a sense of flow in the space. To create a sense of flow in the space, it is important to choose decorations, furnishings, objects, lighting, and open spaces that create a sense of movement and connection between the different elements in the space. It is also important to choose decorations, furnishings, objects, lighting, and open spaces that create a sense of openness and connection to the outdoors. Finally, we will discuss how to use decorations, furnishings, objects, lighting, and open spaces to create a sense of balance in the space. The Great Buddha Dharani Sutra, also known as the Diamond Sutra, is a seminal Mahayana Buddhist scripture. It provides foundational teachings on the nature of emptiness, non-attachment, and the Bodhisattva path. Studying and understanding the Diamond Sutra requires patience, openness, and a beginner's mind. Some key methods for exploring its depths include line-by-line study. Read the sutra line by line, translating and contemplating the meaning and implications of each line. This helps build familiarity and prevents a superficial glossing over of teachings. Question any lines that are unclear or confusing and reflect on their possibilities. Deeper insights emerge through repeated contemplation. Compare teachings. The Diamond Sutra covers core Mahayana concepts like non-attachment, emptiness, and enlightened wisdom. Compare how these concepts are explained at different points in the sutra. Look for deeper nuance and layers of meaning. Reflect on how understandings evolve or remain consistent across the teachings. New dimensions open up through comparison. Reflect on metaphors. The sutra uses insightful metaphors and imagery to express deep philosophical ideas. Spend time reflecting on the implications and deeper truths conveyed through each metaphor. What do they reveal about the nature of reality, wisdom, and liberation? Metaphors provide access to contemplative insights that transcend conceptual mind. Contemplate from different perspectives. Reread the sutra from the perspectives of different beings like a practitioner, layperson, teacher, student, and bodhisattva. How might understandings shift with different lenses? Our limitations shape how we perceive teachings. Contemplating from multiple perspectives frees us from narrow and distorted views. Deeper truths emerge through wider contemplative arcs. Discuss with like-minded. Exploring spiritual teachings with a community supports deep understanding. Compare insights gained by each member through individual reflection and contemplation. Raise questions to further deepen understanding. Teach concepts to each other in your own words. Question each other to broaden perspectives. Community reflection creates a light that illuminates the dharmas from multifaceted angles. Practice mindfulness. Ultimately, the teachings of the Diamond Sutra must shape how we live our lives with awareness and wisdom. Bring mindfulness, compassion, and non-attachment to each moment. How can you apply insights from the sutra to cultivate greater peace, clarity, and enlightened outlook? Practice living as if each act were an expression of bodhisattva vows. Implement teachings through mindfulness in daily life. This is how deep understanding transforms existence. In summary, key methods for studying and understanding the Diamond Sutra include line-by-line study, comparing teachings, reflecting on metaphors, contemplating from different perspectives, and discussing with a community. But true understanding emerges through implementation of insights in a life of mindfulness, wisdom, and enlightened purpose. The Diamond Sutra points the way, but diligent practice transforms that path into formless liberation. With patience and openness, its depths can be plumbed. The Bodhisattva way becomes a lived reality, wisdom embodied, enlightenment attained. A beginner's humble mind grasps at nothing, yet perceives all. May insight and understanding grow ever deeper through contemplating this profound sutra. The Sutra of the Great Perfection of Wisdom is an ancient Buddhist scripture that is used to help people achieve enlightenment. In this essay, we will explore the methods of learning and exploring the Sutra of the Great Perfection of Wisdom. First, we will look at the basics of the Sutra of the Great Perfection of Wisdom and how it is used to help people achieve enlightenment. The Sutra of the Great Perfection of Wisdom is an ancient Buddhist scripture that is used to help people achieve enlightenment by providing a path to understanding the true nature of reality. The Sutra of the Great Perfection of Wisdom is an ancient Buddhist scripture that is used to help people achieve enlightenment by providing a path to understanding the true nature of reality. The Sutra of the Great Perfection of Wisdom is also used to help people cultivate wisdom and compassion and to develop inner peace and harmony. Second, we will consider how to learn and explore the Sutra of the Great Perfection of Wisdom. To learn and explore the Sutra of the Great Perfection of Wisdom, it is important to study the scripture and its teachings. It is also important to practice meditation and mindfulness in order to gain insight into the teachings of the Sutra of the Great Perfection of Wisdom. Third, we will examine how to use the teachings of the Sutra of the Great Perfection of Wisdom to cultivate wisdom and compassion. To use the teachings of the Sutra of the Great Perfection of Wisdom to cultivate wisdom and compassion, it is important to practice meditation and mindfulness. It is also important to practice loving-kindness and compassion meditation in order to cultivate wisdom and compassion. Buddhism is a religion and philosophical system founded by Siddhartha Gautama, who is known as the Buddha. The Buddha taught a middle way between sensual indulgence and extreme asceticism. His core teachings revolve around Four Noble Truths and Eightfold Path, which provide a framework for understanding suffering, its causes and end, along with a practical guideline for liberation. Four Noble Truths. 1. Suffering exists. 2. Suffering is caused by craving and attachment. 3. Suffering can end and happiness attained. 4. Eightfold Path leads to end of suffering. The Four Noble Truths describe the basic orientation and perspective of Buddhist thought. Eightfold Path. This includes moral conduct, mental discipline, and wisdom. It comprises right view, resolve, speech, conduct, livelihood, mindfulness, and concentration. The Eightfold Path provides a set of practices oriented toward liberating the mind from suffering. By following it, one cultivates wisdom and moral discipline to reach nirvana. 3 Universal Truths. 1. Suffering exists. 2. Suffering is caused by desires. 3. Suffering ends when desires end. These provide a very brief summary of the Four Noble Truths in 3 statements. They emphasize how ending desires leads to the end of suffering. 3 Jewels. Buddhists take refuge in the Buddha, the teacher, the Dharma, the teaching, and the Sangha, the community. Trust in these 3 jewels provides spiritual guidance and fellowship for following the path to nirvana. Major schools. There are Theravada, Mahayana, and Vajrayana schools of Buddhism with different perspectives. Theravada focuses on individual liberation, Mahayana on liberation for all beings, and Vajrayana on liberating enlightenment through meditation and Tantra. Schools share core doctrines but differ in practices, philosophy, and presence. Precepts and precepts. Followers adopt precepts such as not killing, lying, stealing, committing adultery, and intoxication. Precepts cultivate morality and restrain negative and destructive behavior. Practitioners work to realize higher precepts of non-attachment, wisdom, renunciation, and peace. The precepts mark a gradual path of practice that develops ethical discipline and discernment. Karma and rebirth. Beings experience death and are reborn in various realms according to their karma, which is the principle of cause and effect. Where intent and actions of morality and immorality contribute to the nature of a being's future existence. One reaches enlightenment by understanding the true nature of reality and ending the cycle of rebirth. The system of karma provides an explanation for the problem of evil and suffering in the world. In summary, the major doctrines in Buddhism include 4 Noble Truths, Eightfold Path, 3 Universal Truths, 3 Jewels. Major schools of Theravada, Mahayana, and Vajrayana, precepts and precepts as a guide to moral discipline, and the principle of karma and rebirth. These laws and teachings provide a philosophical framework for understanding existence, morality, liberation, and enlightenment according to the Buddha's compassionate guidance. By following the laws and using doctrines as a map, one journeys toward nirvana through wisdom and ethical conduct. Buddhist doctrines establish a spiritual path, not a belief system, which is why they continue to inspire contemplatives of many faiths. The laws describe the way and teachings provide signposts along it. Buddhist philosophy aims to transform lives through wisdom, not allegiance or conversion. The teachings themselves are the practice. Buddhism is an ancient religion that is based on the teachings of the Buddha. Buddhism is based on the Four Noble Truths and the Eightfold Path, which are used to help people achieve enlightenment. In this essay, we will explore the laws and teachings of Buddhism. First, we will look at the basics of Buddhism and how it is based on the Four Noble Truths and the Eightfold Path. The Four Noble Truths are the truth of suffering, the truth of the cause of suffering, the truth of the end of suffering, and the truth of the path that leads to the end of suffering. The Eightfold Path is a set of 8 practices that are used to help people achieve enlightenment. Second, we will consider the 5 precepts of Buddhism and how they are used to help people live a moral and ethical life. The 5 precepts are the belief in no killing, no stealing, no sexual misconduct, no lying, and no intoxicants. The 5 precepts are used to help people live a moral and ethical life by providing guidelines for behavior and encouraging people to cultivate wisdom and compassion. Third, we will examine the 3 universal truths of Buddhism and how they are used to help people understand the nature of reality. The 3 universal truths are that all things are impermanent, all things are interconnected, and all things are subject to the law of cause and effect. The 3 universal truths are used to help people understand the nature of reality and to cultivate wisdom and compassion. Finally, we will discuss the 4 immeasurables of Buddhism and how they are used to help people cultivate inner peace and harmony. The 4 immeasurables are loving-kindness, compassion, joy, and equanimity. The 4 immeasurables are used to help people cultivate inner peace and harmony by encouraging them to practice loving-kindness and compassion meditation. In conclusion, Buddhism is an ancient religion that is based on the teachings of the Buddha. Buddhism is based on the Four Noble Truths and the Eightfold Path, and is also based on the 5 precepts, the 3 universal truths, and the 4 immeasurables. The laws and teachings of Buddhism are used to help people live a moral and ethical life, understand the nature of reality, and cultivate inner peace and harmony. Introduction. Buddhism is a religion that is rooted in the teachings of the Buddha, who lived in India over 2,500 years ago. Throughout the centuries, various Buddhist schools have developed their own sets of laws and precepts to guide their followers in their spiritual practice. Introduction. India is a land of diverse religions and spiritual practices. Among these, Buddhism has a rich history and continues to be widely practiced today. However, the way Buddhism is practiced can vary greatly between different regions of India. In this article, we will explore the differences in religious beliefs and practices between different regions of India, and how these differences manifest in the practice of Buddhism. Buddhism in India. Buddhism originated in India over 2,500 years ago, and spread throughout the region and beyond. Today, Buddhism is practiced in many countries around the world, but India remains an important center of Buddhist practice and scholarship. In India, Buddhism is practiced primarily in 3 regions: the North, the East, and the South. Each of these regions has its own unique history, culture, and religious practices, which have influenced the way Buddhism is practiced in that region. North India. In North India, Buddhism is primarily practiced by the Dalits, a group of people who were historically considered to be outside the Hindu caste system. The Dalits were drawn to Buddhism in part because of its rejection of the caste system, which they saw as a form of social oppression. In North India, Buddhist practice is characterized by devotion to the Buddha, the recitation of sutras, and the use of meditation and other spiritual practices to cultivate inner peace and wisdom. Buddhist temples and monasteries in this region often have a simple, rustic appearance, and are designed to promote a sense of humility and devotion. Buddhism originated in India and spread from there to many other Asian countries. While the core teachings of the Buddha are shared across Buddhist traditions, there are some key differences in religious practices between regions. These differences emerged as Buddhism adapted to diverse cultures and integrated with local beliefs. Southern Buddhism or Theravada. This tradition dominated in Sri Lanka and Southeast Asian countries like Thailand, Myanmar, Cambodia. Followers practice an early form of monasticism focused on individual liberation through meditation and morality. There are over 100,000 monasteries in Thailand alone. Nuns have a more limited role. Symbolism and rituals play a minor part. Eastern Buddhism or Tibetan Buddhism. This Vajrayana tradition spread to Tibet, Mongolia, Bhutan. It incorporates Buddhist teachings with native shamanistic practices. Monasteries are very influential, housing thousands of monks. Nuns have a larger role, including acting as chiropractors or running hospitals. Intricate symbols, mandalas, and tantric rituals are key parts of practice. Rebirth in specific realms is emphasized. Northern Buddhism or Mahayana. This major branch developed in China, Korea, Japan. It includes traditions like Zen, Pure Land, Nichiren. There is a diverse range of practices from meditation to devotion to philosophy. Monastic life in some branches is vibrant, while in others monasticism is limited. Nuns have varying roles. Iconography, rites and ceremonies take on greater significance. Key concepts include bodhisattva path, emptiness, and enlightened society. Indigenous Indian Buddhism. Elements of Buddhism became embedded in Hindu culture over time. There are some distinct Buddhist groups, but overall Buddhist identity merged with Hinduism. Deities may be a mix of Buddhist and Hindu. There are Buddhist art and architecture, but limited monasticism. Rituals and pilgrimage play a bigger role, as in Hinduism. Concepts of merit, sin and rebirth came to mirror those of Hinduism. In summary, there are significant differences in religious practices between Buddhist regions of India. Theravada Buddhism in the south focuses on monastic discipline and meditation for individual liberation. Tibetan Buddhism incorporates shamanism and highlights rebirth in specific realms. Mahayana Buddhism in the north includes diverse practices like devotion, philosophy, and limited monasticism. Indigenous Indian Buddhism integrated deeply with Hinduism, leaving a muted Buddhist legacy. While sharing core teachings, regions developed unique rituals, beliefs, values, and institutions based on local culture and history. Buddhism adapted to indigenous faiths even as it shaped them. Distinct identities emerged, yet there is a family resemblance across all. Geographic spread of Buddhism led to both diversification and consonance of religious practices between regions in the Indian subcontinent. Each tradition preserved the essence of the Buddha's guidance in its own culturally resonant style. India is a culturally and religiously diverse country with a wide variety of religious practices and Buddhist practices. In this essay, we will explore the differences in religious practices and Buddhist practices between regions in India. First, we will look at the basics of religious practices and Buddhist practices in India and how they vary between regions. Religious practices and Buddhist practices in India vary between regions due to the different cultural and religious influences in each region. For example, in the northern region of India, Hinduism is the predominant religion and Buddhism is practiced by a small minority. In the southern region of India, Buddhism is the predominant religion and Hinduism is practiced by a small minority. Second, we will consider the differences in religious practices between regions in India.